You've seen this morning, we've been listening to Canadians and we've been delivering for Canadians. The first order of business of the first cabinet of the new government under Prime Minister Carney was to offer to Canadian a middle class tax cut, a very significant step that will benefit 22 million Canadians across the nation, that will provide a family with two income up to $840 of benefits. This is very significant, and it sends a very strong and clear message to Canadians that we care, that we understand that one of the first concerns they have is about affordability. And we want to send a message that, yeah, there's a lot of things going on, but we'll be there for them. So that was the first order of business of this government. So ce matin, ce qu'on a annoncé, d'abord, la première chose que je dois dire, c'est que on a écouté les Canadiens et Canadiennes depuis les dernières semaines, depuis les derniers mois, et on agit pour les Canadiens et les Canadiennes. Ce que vous avez vu ce matin, le premier ministre du Canada, M. Carney, a fait dans sa toute première mesure qu'il a adoptée, c'était une réduction d'impôts pour la classe moyenne, une réduction d'impôts importante qui va toucher 22 millions de Canadiens et Canadiennes à travers le pays. Cette mesure-là va donner aux familles avec deux revenus jusqu'à 840 de bénéfices. Donc, c'est important pour les familles à travers le pays. Et le message clair que ça envoie aux Canadiens, c'est qu'on va être là pour vous. On sait qu'il y a beaucoup de préoccupations pour les Canadiens et Canadiennes, mais l'une des toutes premières, évidemment, c'est la question de l'abordabilité. Donc, moi, je pense que c'est significatif que le premier geste posé par le gouvernement Carney dans la première réunion du Conseil des ministres, c'est d'être là pour la classe moyenne. Donc, ce matin, un geste important pour l'ensemble des Canadiens et Canadiennes.
Will you table a budget before summer?
So what we have today is a middle class tax cut. That's step one. Step two, you're going to have a throne speech where we'll outline the Canadian government priority, and there will be a fall economic statement to follow. So those are really the sequence that you're going to see. Tax cut for the middle class, we're going to be introducing a Ways and Means motions as we enter back into Parliament. We'll table legislation. Then there'll be a throne speech, and then we'll present a fall economic statement.
Are you going to work with opposition parties to get this passed? How are you going to get the votes to get this passed? Are you going to reach out to opposition parties and see if they'll?
Well, Canadians sent a very clear message that they want this Parliament to work for them. And the first measure that we're introducing is a middle class tax cut. So we expect other parliamentarians to support, obviously, the government, because this is about Canadians. We are in a dire situation. We've been talking with Canadians for weeks and months during the campaign. They told us one thing. They want us to do bold things. They want us to do them quickly, and they want us to do things for them. So this is a way for all parliamentarians to show up and say, yes, we support Canadians at a time where they need a break. And this is the best way to make sure that, 22 million Canadians, that's about as many people who file tax return in this country, will benefit from this measure. So this is very, very important.
Pourquoi pas de budget avant l'été, M. Champagne?
Ben, écoutez, je viens de vous répondre. C'est qu'il y a trois choses. D'abord, on va avoir...
Pourquoi pas de budget?
Mais non, mais je viens de vous répondre à l'instant, puis je vais le répéter en français. La première chose qu'on fait, c'est la première mesure du gouvernement Carney, c'est une réduction d'impôt pour la classe moyenne. Donc, ça, on va faire ça. Première chose, c'est important. C'est la chose la plus importante parce qu'on va laisser de l'argent dans les poches des Canadiens et c'est l'engagement du premier ministre du Canada et c'est la toute première mesure qu'on adopte. Deuxième chose qu'on va faire, il y aura un discours du trône qui va venir, qui va déjà présenter les priorités du gouvernement du Canada pour la prochaine législation. Et ensuite de ça, il y aura une mise à jour économique de l'automne qui va suivre. Donc, la séquence, elle est très claire, elle est très logique. Première chose, réduction d'impôts pour la classe moyenne. Deuxième chose, discours du trône. Troisième chose, on aura une mise à jour économique.
Pourquoi est-ce que vous renoncez? Pourquoi est-ce que vous renoncez à le faire avant l'été?
On ne renonce pas, on en fait un. Ce que je vous dis, c'est qu'il faut faire les choses dans l'ordre. Première chose, réduction d'impôts pour la classe moyenne. Deuxième chose, discours du trône. Et troisième chose, il faut avoir une mise à jour économique, ce qu'on va faire à l'automne. Le raisonnement, c'est qu'il faut que les choses se fassent d'une façon logique. La première chose que vous faites, attendez, je vais juste finir ça. La première chose qu'on fait, c'est réduction d'impôts. Deuxième chose, discours du trône. Troisième chose, il y aura une mise à jour économique.
So the fiscal year has begun, Mr. Champagne. The fiscal year has already begun. When are you going to have a framework for the public finances for the year?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Shouldn't there be one as soon as possible in the fiscal year? You're going to leave it to the second half?
That's what I'm saying. So let's take it step by step. Canadians understand
I
that.
think we heard the steps.
No, but
What
it's
I'm
not
wondering
very
is why aren't
complicated.
you putting
But
together
why?
a fiscal
Because it
framework
needs to go in a,
during the fiscal year?
well, I would say because you need to go in a sequence that is logical. The first thing you do is the first step of this government is a middle class tax cut. That's the first thing. You start with that. Then you say, well, you need to have a throne speech to say what are the priorities of the government. And once you've done that, then you do an economic statement, which is going to be the fall economic statement. So this is the logical piece.
At this point, right?
We're
just gonna go to fall
without a budget.
Fall is fall, you know. I could not be clearer than that. Fall is fall. So fall
Septembre.
2025.
Last year, fall was
Septembre,
December.
octobre.
Last year, fall was
Septembre,
December. It could be nearly a
No,
year.
We're, you know, you will see with this government, and you've seen it with this prime minister, we're very clear. You know, that's why we say this morning, there's 3 steps. It's very clearly outlined. And I would say Canadians have seen the priorities that we have outlined during the campaign. Priorities are not going to be different. You know, we provided a frame during the campaign. We said, you know, we need to fight for Canadians. So we're going to be there to protect Canadians and industry with respect to U.S. tariff. We're going to protect workers and industry, and we're going to build this country. So the frame remains the same. And in the building of the country, we need to invest in defense.
Is that why no budget this year?
We invest in infrastructure, and we're going to invest in housing.
Comment voyez-vous
Last question.
comment voyez-vous votre collaboration avec Mark Carney? Est-ce qu'il vous a donné des indications claires ou vous avez le plein jeu?
Ben, écoutez, on travaille en complémentarité. Il y a toujours, vous savez, dans le système parlementaire, toujours une interaction proche entre le premier ministre et le ministre des Finances. Ce que je viens de vous expliquer, c'est exactement ce qu'on a discuté avec le premier ministre, c'est-à-dire il y a 3 séquences claires, c'est-à-dire premier point ce matin qui est important. Faut pas, on parle de la première mesure qui touche 22 millions de Canadiens,
C'est lui qui vous a
le
donné
discours
la
du
séquence.
trône, et ensuite de ça, on parle d'une mise à jour économique qui va suivre.
On fait
How
toujours ça en collaboration. Honda
Sorry.
pulling out. How concerned are you about Honda?
Well, listen, I'm always concerned when I see investments that would be delayed. But on the other end, as Premier Ford has said, in our interaction with the leadership of Honda in Japan, they are very committed to Canada. They are very committed to the project. They understand that, you know, what you're seeing now, which is not unique to Canada, it's about in every market, there's change of technology that is happening in terms of the battery. The battery cost needs to go lower so you can bring the cost of vehicles lower. You have adoption by consumer, which is delayed by, I would say, which we see a delay in adoption. There's more capacity than demand at this stage. But the North Star about having electric vehicle remains. And that's why I'm very confident. You know, you have to see when you change technology after 100 years, we should not be surprised that you see change in technology and change in adoption by consumers. But I remain very confident, as the experts in the field would say, that the North Star is towards electrification.
Mr. Champagne,